Desde San José, Costa Rica, transmite TIDOS. Cargando las baterías para sobrevivir todo el día. Junto a Sammy en las mañanas Morning Sounds.
And I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Hello, happy Friday. Yay. Thank God it's Friday. As per usual, I think that the week has flown past so quickly, but it's almost the weekend. How's everyone doing this morning? I hope that you're doing really well. And yes, of course, it's going to be a lovely day. Firstly, because I'm going to be spending the next 2 hours sharing some lovely music with you beautiful folks. Secondly, because, well, it's Friday. And thirdly, well, because, you know, you're listening to Morning Sounds with Sammy, right? And we've actually got something a little bit different today. So later on in the second part of the show, I'm going to be giving a little interview with a up-and-coming Costa Rican artist, Felipe González, aka Alien FELI. So stay tuned for that in the second part of the show. Well, as I already said at the beginning of the show, I hope that you were listening, or maybe you hadn't tuned in yet. I do actually have a very special guest that I would like to introduce you to. And his name is Felipe González, aka Alien FELI, and he's an up-and-coming Costa Rican artist. We're going to just talk for a couple of minutes about some tracks from his new album, which is the self-titled album Alien FELI, and we're going to actually play a couple of his songs, Jasmine and The Devil Works For Me, plus one of his new videos, All of the Bees. Hello, how are you doing on this fine morning?
I'm scared and nervous, but I'm willing. Yeah.
Good. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here in the cabina, listening, well, participating in the show Morning Sounds with Sammy, right here on the fabulous Radio Dance. So tell me, Felipe, how did you get started in music?
Well, I think I started playing guitar when I was about 13 years old, I believe, around 12, 13. But music has always been in my life, you know? One of my brothers introduced me to Metallica and Iron Maiden as like the first music I ever heard.
Nice. Your brother's got good taste.
Yeah, along with, I remember him, our older brother, you know, bringing us to his room, putting on a CD, and he was like, listen to this, don't you just want to throw everything? And so I was, at an early age, introduced to like heavy music. So yeah, that's about it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And when did you know that you wanted to start to take it like more seriously? So from a hobby to maybe something that you could actually do professionally?
That's probably around the pandemic, you know, because I was always in bands, you know, during college and in high school. I always played. I wasn't very disciplined in high school, but for some reason I was very enthusiastic about the guitar and, you know, writing songs. But the pandemic really hit me that it was now or never where I needed to record this music if I wanted to share it with people. So yeah, around that time.
That's fantastic. Good for you. I'm glad that you found like your creative outlet during the pandemic, you know, because that was such a tough time for everyone and you managed to turn it around into something beautiful and positive. So kudos to you for doing that.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about your music. Once we have, you know, discussed this, we're going to actually play one of the songs, Jasmine, from your new album. I believe it has 8 tracks.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really exciting. So please tell us a little bit about this song. You know, what was the inspiration? How did you write it? What are the significance of the lyrics? I want to know everything.
All right. So Jasmine is a song I wrote when I was about 18 years old, 19. The riffs were actually written when I was in high school, but it was around that age where I really put the lyrics together, you know. And it has sort of like a double meaning. That's sort of all I want to say. The lyrics, it's a love song, but it's not necessarily about what you think it is.
Nice.
Is it cool if I leave it open for people to interpret?
That's fine. It's good to leave these types of songs open for interpretation. I love that.
All right. So just pay attention to the lyrics and you'll get a little cues here and there. But yeah, this song was written a long time ago and it was recorded a long time after it was written.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, we'll get to that a little bit later on. But for now, let's play the song.
By
song Jasmine by Alien FELI. I hope that you enjoyed it. Write in and let me know what you think. You can write in at the WhatsApp group at 8505-9955. That's 8505-9955. All right, so back to Felipe. How does it feel listening to one of your songs live on the radio?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. That was an honor. It feels surreal. I'm still getting used to it, but I'm happy that, the public is getting to hear my songs,
Well, this is the best way for you to get your music out there, get exposure, and for people just to, get a taste of what you're about. Personally, I just love that song. I love like the indie rock and the dream pop kind of vibe. Which brings me on to my next question. What are some of your musical influences, Felipe?
Well, I have a friend who says I'm stuck in 1967, Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Summer of Love, that's correct. So Jimi Hendrix is a big one for me, of course. I'm a huge fan of Brian Wilson, the singer from the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Of course, the Beatles. But I have lots of influence. Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and all the blues guys. Muddy Waters.
Yeah, Muddy Waters. Great.
Yeah. Buddy Guy.
And Freddie King.
Freddie King, yeah. I'm a big fan of one that's not as well known as the others, but he went by Snooks Eaglin from New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, he's one of my biggest influences on the guitar.
Nice, good for you. I sometimes play a song by the Irish blues artist. His name was Rory Gallagher.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God, Bad Penny. Yeah. And he was actually great friends with Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
Jimi Hendrix had a lot of respect for his musical talent. And a few weeks ago, I played one of his songs, and people were like, "Wow, I haven't heard that on Radio DOS before." And I'm like, "That's what it's all about, like mixing it up." So tell me a little bit more about this album that you've got out. So you've got, obviously I went to Mundo Loco, where you were playing, and I had to leave, unfortunately, because it was way after my bedtime. But I did manage to listen to, a couple of songs. But tell us more about your album.
All right, so yeah, my album consists of 8 original songs. It's about 43 minutes in length, so yeah, that's about an LP's worth of length. And, it was one of the most difficult things I've ever done because I had to, record the music whilst I was learning how to record music in my house. And, of course, it was highly enjoyable because of the difficulty it had at the same time. But, yeah, it's a rock album, I would say. It consists of my first sort of songwriting skills. I'd like to believe that I've progressed since, but I think those songs I chose to record so that people get a taste of, the first things I ever did. It's taken a long time to record these songs, but finally I get to share them, So yeah, this is, I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you answered it beautifully.
All right,
There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this interview. It's just supposed to be natural and spontaneous.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit after we play some more songs, and we're going to go into a little bit more detail about how the album was mixed, because I'm really interested in that. So stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, estamos de vuelta. Y bueno, queremos hacer un gran saludo a todos los oyentes de Radio 2. Muchísimas gracias para todo el apoyo para el show Morning Sounds with Sammy. Y bueno, me gustaría que Felipe hable un poquito sobre él y para también hacer un gran saludo a ustedes.
Bueno, un poquito sobre mí. No, quiero saludar a mis amigas y amigos costarricenses. Los quiero, los amo mucho, mucho, mucho. Gracias por escuchar la música. Esto es mi entrega hacia ustedes, hacia los amantes del rock and roll, amantes de la música en general, amantes del arte, pintura, música, teatro, todo. Esto es para ustedes y muchas gracias por escuchar.
Muchísimas gracias, Felipe. Y lo que es súper bonito es como para tener esta entrevista con usted.
Sí.
Y es como algo muy gratificante, ¿verdad? Para poder compartir su música. Y también para como fomentar y compartir y apoyar como una artista costarricense, ¿verdad? Porque aquí estamos en Costa Rica y es muy, muy lindo escuchar su música. Espero que tiene muchísimos éxitos en el futuro.
Gracias.
All right, so let's go back to English.
Yeah, rock and roll.
And what I'm really interested in understanding is that your album was mixed by Chris Brown, who worked with Sir George Martin on the Beatles anthology albums.
Yeah.
Please tell us more about it. How did you get in contact with him, and how was the experience?
Well, I got in contact with him via the magical and mysterious internet. Yeah, I found him on there, and yeah, it was a crazy story because I was reading a book on how to record, and I wrote to the author of that book an email, and I said, hey, I need someone that knows how to sort of mix classic rock. And he sort of, he got me in contact with a few engineers, and amongst that, long story short, I got to Chris, and yeah, we first mixed Jasmine and All the Bees, which is, we'll talk about that later, I believe, and I heard those mixes, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because, I was only used to hearing the raw tracks in my computer, and, hearing them mixed along with the drums, the bass, the vocals, and, him really capturing what I was envisioning was really satisfying and humbling and surreal. So, yeah, I don't know if did I answer your question?
You did. You answered it beautifully.
All right, yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about the album, because we're going to actually play another song in a minute, The Devil Works For Me, which is obviously from this LP. Just tell us a little bit about it. What's the name of the album? And maybe you can, list a couple more songs from it.
Yeah, all right. So I already mentioned All the Bees. I'm planning on releasing that along with the
great song.
Yeah, Sammy already heard it. Tim also already heard it. By the way, shout out to Ed Myers and Jungle Jim in the U.S. Anyways, All the Bees is the next single I'm planning to release. It's a short song. It's very much Beach Boys inspired, and
nice.
Classic sort of harmonic sort of background. Yeah, and there's other songs. There's one called Rock's Not Dead, which is 8 minutes long.
Ooh.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's many surprises. I like to think that it's a very varied sort of album. And what was the other question?
Tell us a little bit about the song that we're about to listen to.
All right, yeah.
The inspiration behind it. How did you write it?
All right, so the next song is The Devil Works For Me, and it could be interpreted as a suggestive title, and it sort of is, but it's really about empowerment and overcoming your own demons, if I had to say something.
Oh, wow.
But it's, it's open to interpretation. Many people have told me they interpret it their own way, right? It's structurally a very bizarre song. As you'll hear, nothing really repeats itself. It came out that way naturally. To me, the song is one big catharsis, It's just letting it all out. So I wanted to see if I just let it out myself in the recording, if that would, be contagious to the listeners.
I think it will. Well, let's see what you guys think. Hopefully it'll be therapeutic for you too. So here's the song from Felipe González, The Devil Works For Me.
Yeah.
Woke up not feeling right. I had a dream just last night, and I could see some of the terrible things in my past. Figuring out who I am, the world looks different as I can see myself for who I really am. No more pretending.
Well, that was the song The Devil Works For Me by Felipe González, a.k.a. Alien FELI.
Yeah.
What a wonderful track. I love it, and it's perfect for this fine Friday morning. I hope that the listeners are enjoying it too. We've been getting some really positive feedback through the WhatsApp group, so that's great. Now, I know that you've also got something that you wanted to talk about, which is the new video for All the Bees.
Yeah. So yeah, first of all, shout out to the people who helped me record that video. The brilliant Yolanda Munoz, she was the director, and her friends. They have a little sort of like a group thing, company, so to speak, called Histeria Colectivo, which in English is translated to collective hysteria, right? So those are the people who helped me record the video, and it was like a very memorable experience recording that. We went to the Hotel Presidente, the hotel down in San Jose, on a suite.
Oh yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah, we went to the best room there, a suite. I'd never been to a suite before, and it's a very intricate kind of video with a clear message that I wanted to share with my dear Costa Rican people, anybody else. I don't know, maybe it's cool for people to wait for the video. The message is pretty clear, but it's something along the lines of, letting yourself be authentic.
I love that, being able to express your own authenticity and
with
just show up. Yeah, with all its quirks. Like, if you're going to be weird and embrace it.
Embrace it, yeah.
And at the end of the day, define normal. What is normal?
There is no such thing.
Exactly. We all have our quirks, and we need to embrace them, and not feel the need that we're going to be judged or looked down upon. Let's just be who we are. I love that. Now, Felipe, tell me a little bit about the album. Again, if you could just repeat the name of the album. I know it's self-titled. And also, when do you think that you're going to launch it?
All right, so yeah, I've sort of recently decided that it's going to be a self-titled album.
Okay.
Yeah, so Alien FELI, it's going to be the name of the album. And I'm thinking of releasing it the 15th of September.
Oh, wow, that's great, on Independence Day.
Yeah.
And is there going to be a special launch? Do you think there's going to be a special launch? Maybe you're going to play somewhere, like at the venue where you were at Mundo Loco or another live venue somewhere?
I think that would be cool. There's nothing organized at the moment, but there's something organized, like a sort of party for the music video.
Okay.
So, yeah, people can expect a party.
That would be fun.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, let us know if there's going to be
everyone's
an album
invited.
launch.
Everyone, especially the weirdos. Yeah.
Well, that means Turbo Tim's going to be coming.
Yeah. Speaking of Turbo Tim, his son, Gabriel Johnston, I want to give him a very special shout out. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be here. He's one of my closest friends, and he's empowered me to go along with this whole music thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's what happens when you have good friends.
I love him too.
Thank you so much. So just to finish, tell us a little bit about, where we can access your music.
Yeah.
Maybe you can, hablan un poco en español,
sí, claro.
donde podemos escuchar su música y todo eso.
Ok. Primero que todo, mi música, las dos canciones Jasmine y The Devil Works For Me están disponibles en Spotify, en Apple Music, SoundCloud, Bandcamp y, bueno, supuestamente todas las streaming platforms disponibles. Yo prefiero las principales como Spotify y Apple Music porque he visto que son como de las más usadas, pero supuestamente está dispuesta en todos los streaming platforms. The other question was, my music's available in all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, whatever you like. Remember the other question, you can also find me on Instagram. That's the main social media. Esa es la red social principal que estoy usando para publicar el contenido, para anunciar los videos. Me pueden buscar como Alien FELI, todo minúscula y pegado. Eventualmente tal vez me puedo extender a Facebook y otras redes sociales. Y estoy en YouTube también, ahí voy a publicar el video. Pero por ahora estoy experimentando con Instagram porque es la red social en la que me siento cómodo. y en la que me siento como para compartirles el mensaje de una manera auténtica.
That is great. So this brings us to a close, but thank you so much for just presenting. It's been so interesting to understand a little bit about the nuances and the inspiration behind your music, what led you to get into this industry, what led it from, a hobby to now professional, and a little bit about the inner workings of your mind behind the lyrics. Super fascinating. And also a shout out to Turbo Tim, the radiographer, who is so charismatic, so enthusiastic, and he's just like a little ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
If you need any videos or anything like that, he's based in Costa Rica, and he has his company, Turbo Tim Productions. So, reach out to me if you ever need a video, and I will, refer you to him. He's a great guy, and as I said, super, super high energy. In fact, I want to be like him when I'm older.
Yeah,
He's
me too.
Freaking legend.
Yeah.
All right, time for some more music.